tenemos que ver esa reforma tan importante. Lo que hemos visto en Arizona es inaceptable y nosotros no vamos a aceptar ese tratamiento de nuestra comunidad. Y hoy estamos en el Capitolio, representantes de líderes del nivel local, estatal y nacional, a decir: estamos unidos, nuestra comunidad latina está unida y vamos a usar nuestro poder político, económico a cambiar y a llamar atención a este tema tan importante. Gracias por estar aquí con ustedes. Nosotros estamos con ustedes. Gracias.
Muchas gracias. We will now have Senator Denise Moreno Duchovny, representative of San Diego, District 40.
Thank you all very much. Certainly to all the folks here and to NCLR and other community folks who have joined us today and the media who are here. You know, I have the honor to represent the district that actually is the border with Baja California, all of the border with Baja California, and to serve this year as chair of a conference of border state legislators that acknowledges what most of us recognize who live there, that we are one region, one economy, and one opportunity for us to do important sustainable development, things like renewable energy, and to move our economies forward. We think we are the future, and we know in California, as has been the truth for this country for 200 years of its existence as the United States, that it is an immigrant country, that all of its strength has always come from the fact that we had immigration from multiple countries, from multiple peoples. It has been a strength of the entrepreneurial spirit that those immigrants brought, whether it was 200 years ago, 100 years ago, or last year, that the folks who come here bring that spirit, bring that willingness to work, and bring that dream that their families will have a different and better life than where they came from. That is what has driven our economy, both nationally and certainly in California. We are very clear in California that our economy has grown on the backs of immigrants, and particularly in the last 20 to 30 years. Our agricultural sector, Senator Chavilla said, our services sector, all of those industries that are major industries in this state are very immigrant labor dependent, which is why we and many of our employers in this state have supported comprehensive immigration reform for several years. And I think beyond the commitment, and certainly we look to the leadership of President Obama, but the real question is going to be, will 60 senators stand up and allow a vote on this issue? You know, Senator McCain, once upon a time, believed in this. Probably after today, he's nervous about his election, and won't. Senator Alexander has stepped up to the plate as a Republican who's willing to discuss what is clearly an economic issue. It's about recovery in this nation. Allowing people out of the shadows, giving them social security numbers, giving them driver's licenses, allowing their children to go to colleges, and allowing them to work and pay taxes in a legal fashion that allows them to be part of the social security system without just paying taxes and getting nothing back for it, is really part of what drives our economy. And to ignore that and say, oh yes, we can change the immigration system with some of the amendments that some have proposed, and not deal comprehensively with those who have been laboring in this country for more than 10 years, and in this state certainly for longer than that. Many of them, you know, more recent and longer ago, doesn't matter. If they have a job and they're here working, they're contributing to the economy. Their status in terms of their documentation is not the issue. It is not a crime, despite what Arizona would like to say. It is not a federal crime to be in this country without an undocumented status. It's a civil thing. It's something we learned once upon a time about 30 years ago when I was in law school. This was all still true. And what we did then, and what was done in the previous 20 years to that, was people kept restricting the number of people who could come legally from countries that were major senders. And now we're at a place where people say, well, gosh, people weren't allowed to come legally, so now we have too many illegal people coming here illegally. Well, the truth is we need to reform the immigration system, allow for appropriate immigration, allow people to come and unite with their families as we always have, and not have it be a 10-year wait. Acknowledge that the system needs to be changed, needs to be reformed. The Ag Jobs bill from 3 or 4 years ago was a good one. Allow for temporary workers to come and go and not have to be sneaking back and forth and worrying about their families and being assaulted by criminals at the border. There are real criminals there. Law enforcement needs to focus on the real criminals and not on people who are here working and raising their families. Thank you very much.
Now we'll hear from Vice Chair of the Latino Caucus, Tony Mendoza.
Buenos dias. Thank you all for being here. We need to address comprehensive immigration reform on a national level and ensure that our leaders in Congress know that we are here to support them. Anti-immigrant sentiment is not new to us here in California. We've seen this rhetoric and this xenophobic hysteria before when Pete Wilson was governor. However, time has proven that providing a pathway to citizenship is a major economic stimulus. In 1986, Immigration Reform and Control Act is an important snapshot of the stimulus provided by America's economy after millions of workers were allowed to fully contribute to the American society. The real wages of the Immigrant Reform and Control Act shows immigrants in all age groups increased their salaries between 1990 and 2006. But as was the case then and is the case now, these immigrants are here to stay. They are the backbone of our economy, often doing the jobs that nobody else wants to do at the lowest wages. There are 2.7 million unauthorized immigrants living in California, who make up nearly 10% of the labor workforce. If these unauthorized immigrants were removed from California, the state would lose $164 billion in expenditures and $73 billion in economic output. We need to show these hardworking people that they are appreciated by providing them with a pathway to citizenship. This allows them to stabilize their family situation and as well as provide an economic stimulus here for our state. As we are aware, California is currently facing a budget deficit of $20 billion, yet a report from the University of Southern California shows that providing the legalization of Latino immigrants will boost our state's economy by at least $16 billion. With the passage of the comprehensive immigration reform, we will get people back to work, get our economy back on track, and sustain our nation and our state. Let us take care of the people who take care of us and the toil of field to put food on our table. Now for the Spanish-speaking television, I would like to say a few words. Thank you. Tenemos que pasar una reforma migratoria integral y decirle a los líderes del Congreso que estamos aquí para apoyarnos. El sentimiento antimigrante no es nuevo para nosotros aquí en California. Hemos visto este tipo de ataques antes cuando teníamos el gobernador Pete Wilson. Sin embargo, el tiempo ha demostrado que la provisión de una vía a la ciudadanía es un estímulo económico importante. La reforma de inmigración en 1986 es un ejemplo de la ayuda que la economía de los Estados Unidos puede recibir. Después de que millones de trabajadores fueron autorizados a contribuir plenamente a la sociedad americana. Los salarios reales de estos inmigrantes subieron en los años después de esta reforma. Pero como antes era el caso y es el caso ahora, estos inmigrantes están aquí para quedarse. Son una importante parte de nuestra economía, haciendo los trabajos que nadie quiere hacer, con salarios muy bajos. Hay cerca de 2.7 millones de inmigrantes en nuestro estado y representa casi el 10% de los trabajadores aquí en California. Si sacaríamos estos inmigrantes de California, el estado perdería $164 mil millones en gastos y $70 mil millones en la producción económica. Tenemos que asegurarle a esta gente trabajadora que son apreciados y darle un camino a la ciudadanía. Esto les permitiría estabilizar su situación familiar, así como el bienestar económico de nuestro estado. En California nos enfrentamos con un déficit presupuestal de $20 mil millones. Sin embargo, un informe de la Universidad del Sur de California muestra que la legalización de estos inmigrantes latinos podría impulsar la economía de nuestro estado por más de $16 mil millones. Con la aprobación de una reforma migratoria integral, vamos a hacer que la gente vuelva a trabajar, nuestra economía se recupere y el futuro de nuestra nación se mantenga. Para terminar, tenemos que que es cuidar a las personas que nos cuidan a nosotros y que hacen el trabajo en el campo que pone comida en nuestras mesas. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. We'll now hear from Assemblymember Kevin De Leon from District 45.
Gracias, Ochi.